here to respond to the claim that a pass rusher will increase the Raiders' total win total by 2 wins. And just to give you some context that the advocate failed to provide is that those 2 wins was just the difference between the past 2 seasons. His secondary claims were 1, that the lack of a pass rush caused less pressure on opposing quarterbacks. 2, a pass rush would help other defensive linemen in rushing the opposing quarterbacks. And 3, that the loss of Khalil Mack hurt the total defense dramatically. To those, I provide 2 counterclaims. The first is that other potential draft pick positions would also increase pressure on quarterbacks significantly in the upcoming season. And 2, that the Khalil Mack trade was an exceptional case that may not be fixed by adding another pass rusher. So my first response is a counterclaim that other potential draft picks positions would also increase pressure on quarterbacks significantly. And Vincent Frank from Sportsnaut.com suggests that a defensive tackle like Keenan Williams would also boost up Raiders defense. Frank reports that Keenan Williams recorded 18 tackles for loss and 8 sacks in 2018. He's seen as a dominant figure along the interior of the defensive line, something a Raiders team that recorded a total of 4 sacks from that area last season desperately needs. So my advocate's first 2 claims about pressuring quarterbacks could also be addressed more effectively by this strategy. My second counterclaim is that the Khalil Mack trade is an exceptional case that may not be fixed by adding a pass rusher. The advocate left out important details about the circumstances in which the Khalil Mack trade was made. Mack was part of a trade that sends 2 first-round draft picks to Oakland this year. Scott Bair from NBC Sports reports that the head coach and current general manager, John Gruden, freely admitted he's trying to win each week, but also making moves he believes that will benefit his team's long-term health. Bair continued to report that ignoring for a second whether all the capital compiled from the future drafts and the salary cap flexibility of not giving Cooper or Mack big deals will help the Raiders' long-term health, it has hindered the 2018 squad's ability to function well. This suggests that the loss of Khalil Mack was an intentional outcome and that it would be remedied at a later time. The addition of a pass rusher to the team also may not have the same impact when comparing to the loss of Khalil Mack. The Associated Press reports that since entering the league, Mack leads all players with 185.5 quarterback pressures and ranks second with 68 tackles for a loss. According to Sports Radar, he is one of the most versatile defenders in the NFL. So there is a lack of available comparisons in the upcoming draft, and to assume that a new pass rusher would have the same level of impact on defense is unlikely. So in conclusion, I provided examples that the advocate's argument was flawed because other potential draft pick positions would also increase pressure on quarterbacks significantly, and I offered a counterclaim that the Khalil Mack trade is an exceptional case that may not be fixed by adding another pass rusher.
All right, I thought you did a very good job suggesting the counterclaims and then trying to put them in the context of the arguments that the advocate presented. You had good evidence to suggest that other draft picks could also make a significant impact on the pass rushing, and you had a nice example that you illustrated that with. The information about the trade and the draft picks that the Raiders got as a consequence seems to suggest that they are in fact looking for a variety of players, and it's not just the one position that they are most concerned with in these circumstances. I also thought at the end, when you made the argument that said that we may not have, that the Raiders may not have the ability to draft somebody that's going to be at the same level as Mac, suggests that there's a good reason maybe that we ought to be looking at other positions. So I thought that those things went pretty well together in making the argument. And then you kind of show that Mac is an exceptional player based on his performance, that nobody else is measuring up to that particular standard. And the notion that we're going to be able to draft somebody who suddenly is going to step into those shoes and perform at the same level is just unrealistic. So I thought you had a couple of good counterclaims and then a good explanation about why Mac is an exceptional example that we can't be reasoning from and arrive at a conclusion about the number of wins that you're going to get. I thought you explained it pretty well, and I like the fact that you also bothered to find some evidence to support those positions. Thank you.